You clicked, thinking it's your own free will. But was it really your decision? The thumbnails you see on YouTube aren't random. They are intentionally designed to brainwash you. From color psychology to primal emotional triggers, top creators craft thumbnails that hijack your brain's instincts. They keep you clicking while your time and attention are quietly turned into profit. Storytelling creators understand this better than anyone. They know one truth about the human brain, and it's that we are wired for threat detection. That's why even neutral stories get twisted into betrayal, disaster, or downfalls. Because danger grabs attention faster than anything else. Take the channel SunnyV2 as an example. Almost every video is built around someone's downfall or public humiliation. Just take a look at the specific words they choose in the thumbnails: downfall, idiot, broke. The negativity is concentrated in nearly every one of these videos, not just in the thumbnails, but also in the sensationalized titles. Just by looking at the packaging, you're instantly hit with a feeling of disaster without even knowing the actual content of the video. But that's the entire goal. These videos are intentionally crafted to farm as many views as possible by exploiting the psychological biases of the human brain. Because when your brain sees this, or this, it reacts. It prioritizes attention to those images because the unconscious part of our brains can't actually tell the difference between a real threat and a YouTube thumbnail. And this over-sensationalized clickbait becomes even more obvious once you actually watch the videos, especially in this niche. The stories are almost never as dramatic as the title make it seem. Just take a look at these. They are all doing more than fine. No life was ruined and careers are definitely not done. And YouTubers know that if you try to package any video in a positive way, you're basically giving up half of the views. Fear activates survival mode. Dopamine does not. They only rely on negative packaging to trigger urgency, curiosity, and the fear of missing out. Especially in today's world, where we no longer have to worry about actual threats like wild animals. These thumbnails create anxiety, and the only way to relieve it is by clicking. But this doesn't mean creators are lying. It just means they understand how the system works. Hate the game, not the player. But this is only one of the strategies creators use to brainwash you to click, and it's only getting darker from here. Have you ever seen that same video be recommended to you for days on end and you never click? Until you can't resist anymore. That wasn't by chance. Big creators don't just upload and hope you click. They strategize to ensure nothing is left to luck or your decision making. They use tools like Pikzels to constantly create and test new thumbnails. Not just on upload, but every week. Because that one thumbnail change, just that, is the key difference between a video getting 10,000 views or 10 million. And if you watched my video on how to make money on YouTube, you know this can mean millions of dollars more in their pocket. Think of it like slot machines where eventually one thumbnail and title combo will hit your mood just right. And this new game has shifted YouTube from being about creating the best content to being about who has the best packaging that attracts the most views. Every 7 to 14 days, if a video's thumbnail isn't hitting expectations, creators simply swap in a new one. They keep testing again and again and again and again, until eventually one version breaks through and pulls everyone in. Because even if you skip the first few versions like A, B, C, D, or E, eventually one will match your exact mood, your fear, or your curiosity. It was never a question of if, it was only a matter of time before the right trigger aligned and the brainwashing worked. But to understand how these emotions are triggered by thumbnails, we need to go even deeper beneath the surface. What exactly makes a thumbnail so irresistible that you feel almost forced to click? Inside Pikzels, there is a built-in feature that helps these creators analyze the viewer's perspective, measuring whether a thumbnail is emotionally powerful enough to drive millions of clicks. So yeah, creators often rely on heavy use of red, alarm-style visuals, exaggerated facial expressions, and imagery that mimics warnings or emergencies. All designed to tap into that negativity bias we discussed at the start. Most viewers think they are logical, you included. You might think that you would never fall for these kind of thumbnails, yet you are here watching this video. We use the exact same strategies. Thumbnails are engineered to exploit your logic. For example, by taking ordinary situations and sensationalizing them to feel like a crisis. Let's have a closer look at this and try out this analyze feature real quick to actually understand what it's all about. So let's work with a video from the channel SunnyV2 that we'd already been talking about before. So let's look for a popular video from this channel. Maybe this one here has a lot of text. Netflix was sexist for giving me 11 million. Very intriguing how Amy Schumer became the most hated human ever. So we copy the link, head over to Pikzels. Here's the analyze feature. We paste the link that we just copied and hit analyze. Okay, done. We see the Pikzels score in the top left corner, 91, which is pretty good. We can open this little window and then we find the 5 pillars of great packaging, or of great thumbnail: virality, clarity, idea, curiosity, and emotion. And if we open these, we get a very detailed explanation on why this thumbnail is good in terms of virality, for example. The thumbnail's virality is exceptionally high due to the powerful and contradictory text hook. It goes further and further. Clarity: the primary message is instantly clear due to the large, high contrast headline that is easily readable at 360 pixels. So very good and important information for all creators. Here's something about the idea. And also emotion. This is what we talked about in the video, right? So the thumbnail uses a provocative and seemingly contradictory quote to create a strong sense of curiosity in the viewer. So the statement, "Netflix was sexist for giving me 11 million," immediately raises questions, making the viewer want to understand the context and the full story. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So with all these detailed analysis, Pikzels really makes us understand why and how viewers are being pulled in, or kind of forced to click, and it proves there is no magic involved for creating viral thumbnails or packaging. It's rather a kind of system where proven successful adjustments are being applied over and over again. So as we've just seen, they take something minor and design the thumbnail to feel like the world is ending, making you believe that if you don't watch the video, you'll miss out on something critical or secret. And this is especially common in finance and political content, where creators constantly push the feeling that you need to stay informed at all times. It's common to see extreme language, symbols, or scenarios in the text, like dramatic arrows, bold circles, red X marks, and cliffhanger-style phrases that never fully resolve. Creators have near total control over how you respond to a thumbnail. Every element, from the colors, the framing, and the text, they are all carefully crafted to trigger a specific emotion over and over until you eventually give in and click. And every millisecond matters when you are deciding what to watch. And with just a few changes, these large creators are not just grabbing your attention, they are taking control of your emotional state and pulling you in before you even realize it. Now that you understand how psychological and calculated YouTube has become, the real question is this: do you want to keep getting manipulated, or do you want to flip the script? If you want to outsmart the system and compete with top creators, click the first link below.